What the fuck is up, idiots? It's time for me to check the news. Per usual, there's breaking news right now. Donald Trump is chickening out a Supreme Court argument. Toby Keith was known for flag waving, but there's more to unfurl. Let's see here. People are mad that Black Excellence was sidelined at the Grammys. Valentine's Day snowstorm possible in northeastern US. I watched all the Super Bowl commercials. It haven't happened yet. Okay, great. Alright, cool. Great. Fun stuff. Let's get back into the game here. No clue where the fuck I left off, like at all. I think we're trying to prove that something happened. I don't know. Oh, are you shitting me? We're in the middle of this shit? What the fuck? Oh! After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. I'm supposed to press. I'm supposed to present. What? I'm supposed to present something. I just could not fucking tell you what. I'm gonna press this. I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over and say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. I already did this. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak. Yeah, I definitely did this shit already. Yeah, I already did this shit. I already did this. I fucking hate her.
Yes!
Press everything. Yeah, we already did that part. We already did this. I could have swore I like unlocked something.
Objection!
I think I like. Oh. Oh, you know what? Maybe it didn't save this part. Because I remember doing this. There's also 100% I gotta go take a Duke at some point in this video. True face. I did that. No, it was this one. Right? This is what I'm supposed to... I'm supposed to, like, present that there was only one water, right? Right? Hold on. I'll just reload if I'm wrong about that.
Yes!
I might be right. That's it! Let me confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. I think I actually got it. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd. Very odd.
Dear me. What's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ugh. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers.
Also, the fact that we're on episode 5 and we're not even out of the first, like, tutorial trial is insane. Miss Brett just told us she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Objection! Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the
Objection!
case?
Objection. Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you trying to tell me you can clink with only 1? That's a good point. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
You what, mate? You having a gaff? I'll tell you what. Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked, thus to try to hide the fact I'd been there at all, she's saying.
Good gracious.
Oh, I got you now, bitch. Oh, I got you now.
Sorry.
Oh, I got her now. Oh, you dumb shit.
Here, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered a lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
I also want to say, I went back and I watched the other videos. They're university students. I don't know why I thought they were high schoolers. What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly what she did with it.
SCP's God save the Queen, meet the wife Susan.
It would seem she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you see.
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. Damn you and your facts and logic, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth, we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue the matter further, you're gonna need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yeah, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's deeper significance there, it's the handbag. I have to manually fucking click it. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun!
You're right!
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
Stop calling him that. It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. A true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't possibly be suggesting...
Inspector Hosonaga! Yes. Did you or did you not search Mr. Gilbrett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order! Order! Order!
What's the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Aochi?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Jesus fucking Christ. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I'd completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Fuck! No! This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. The fuck is that on his hand? What is that? As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside.
Or she just has one that's like designed like that. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search this lady's handbag. If there'd been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Yo, bro is cooked. I have nothing for this besides its upper butt crack.
Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag's been entered to the court record.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I'm satisfied—
Oh, well, hold on. I call cap on that. Because, I mean, what the fuck is that? Also, who says that's her handbag? No. I yield.
I am satisfied there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dreams of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little...
Ryunosuke Naru...
Objection! Wait! Your Excellency!
Ryunosuke?
I don't think you can rule in this case yet.
Objection!
Objection! This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the court.
Yes!
Objection. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there were a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection! This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke.
I understand your objection, Counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution's becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this picture we see the significant detail to which you've alluded.
I can only fucking imagine it's the tattoo. That has to be it. That actually has to be it.
Yes!
Look at this, here! There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a bird of some description.
Objection!
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right.
Go on, Inspector.
The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aochi points out, I'm so fucking tired. Unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Mushy peas, eat my jeans. God save the Queen.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Burrs has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence? Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you'd allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I had to find some link between that burn and the case. is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
Oh, it's gotta be the fucking meat, right? Hold on, can I like... It's one of the two, I know it's here. Yeah, there it is, yeah. Yeah.
Yes!
It's that one.
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we can miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite excusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason's recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
Objection! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your king, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate. Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival.
Ah!
This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape!
Ryunosuke, you genius!
You're spot on! Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. I'm gonna be so fucking frank, y'all. I don't see how this has anything to do with anything.
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day after that. It most likely happened some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Objection! Sadly, Prosecutor Aochi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of that wound, it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
Look at my boy pointing like that. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any day before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. That was me. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds on that day,
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Professor Ochi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. Clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection! No, Professor Auchi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon.
As soon as it became apparent the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you'll have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'll be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. But it seems to men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are a bitch, and we're truly honored. The lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
You see how red my face is getting from this shit? Doing the fucking, crazy ass voices. So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Renosuke. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when a poor man burnt his wrist like that. When awaiting abroad my stay, your professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, This country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
What the fuck?
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Easy does it, man.
I hope this is the last time I have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible.
God save the Queen. Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed this little bully of a student, as you put it. Doesn't miss much.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel. This will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I'll be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Next time.
Bye-bye.